What questions do you have? Because I got 30 minutes before my next call, and I just want to
Yeah,
make sure I answer your questions.
yeah, I just want to be intentional and just dive right into it. So I have a NOD. I get NOD lists for certain regions in Southern California,
Hmm.
and the best way I'm trying to figure out. I get only the address and the homeowner, but I'm trying to figure out what's the fastest and most efficient way to get the phone numbers rather than manually doing it one by one on PropStream or something like that. Is there intuitive way to get the lead's number as a bulk or a batch? Like if
Yeah,
I don't know.
that's the skip tracing. And so you'd use. So where did you pull that list initially?
So I get a list. I get a list that's it's an Excel or CSV file. So it has like who's on the NOD list, property name, address, and then the owner's name, and that's all I have. So
Okay. You would import that list into some type of skip tracer. So the cheapest one out there, I think, is Kind skip tracing. It's 3 cents a skip, like KIND skip tracing. So you could use something like that, and it just you can import the list and it'll pull and spit out phone numbers. There's
okay,
also other ones you can use. So you can use prop streams if you have that already, but that's like 13 cents a skip. They're all
yeah,
kind of the same.
okay,
But yeah, you just want to import the list, spit out the phone numbers for them.
okay. So this list has all these like crazy info which I don't care for. Do I have to kind of organize it to where it's a I don't know certain format? Like
No, no. Well, you definitely would want make sure that all the items are in the correct same column, like all the phone numbers are in one column, and if there's
mhm,
but no, you don't organize it. So you can just import the list, and it'll
uh,
ask you what column header or is this thing? Is this phone numbers? Is the address? Like, what are these things? Is the first name? And then you just click, no, this column's this, and then it'll spit out the numbers.
okay. And then it do they send it back to your email or is it how does that kind of come back? Do you know?
I think times I've done it, I've been able to just download it from whatever I put it in. But everyone might be a little bit different.
Okay, okay. Because I've taken the extra step of hiring a VA, so I'm thinking of just trying to delegate this to a VA to do, and then that way she's compiling the list for me to organize. So that way I can just automatically upload the Excel sheet to ready mode, which I'm next subject. But that's kind of the game plan for this aspect of it. So,
Well, for
what's
your
your
first
take on
one,
it?
I would just do it yourself because how would you know or how would you train a VA to do it if you haven't done it for this
Yeah.
specifically? So I would just do it yourself, and then it's not long. It's like really fast actually. So you just take your list, you put it into the website, and it
Mm.
gets the numbers, and then you can now download that into another CSV and put it into your dialer, and like you're good to go.
And is when it comes back out, is it ready to go? Like I could just upload it to ready mode and just start dialing.
Same
Awesome.
exact thing, yeah.
Okay, that's a definitely a huge help for me because I'm just trying to get all my data organized and it's just a hot mess right now. So that way I could just focus on ready mode and just
Yeah.
calling. Uh, so my next one was ready mode. So I'm looking to sign up. I actually have a call with a demo next after this call.
Mhm.
Um, I've just kind of narrowed it down to either call tools or ready mode, and I know you use ready mode. Anything that I should be aware of? I know I'm a single person calling, and I believe you mentioned that it's a little tricky to use at first.
Yeah,
Um,
it's tricky, but it's like my favorite one, so it's probably worth it, man. If you just wanna stick with one, is you can get the
mhm,
ready mode, and, just they have a bunch of training videos, like, literally take the time to watch them all. Because if this is your first big dialer, like, you're gonna wanna watch the videos, and then as you're using the dialer and you have questions, just they have a pretty good tech support number, so you just call tech support and like, "Hey, like, how do I find this?" And then over time, you're just gonna get used to it.
got it. Any best practices that you have since you use ready mode that works efficiently for you, like your flow or process or anything like that?
No, I mean, just call as much as possible. The things that I do look at when I'm calling and is the best practice is just look at your data a lot. So look at that data daily, your dialer report, your agent report. So you want to be able to see how many dials you're actually making, and then the agent report will tell you how many hours you're actually cold calling because you can see how much time I'm spending in ready mode, so when the dialer's going, how many time is on break mode, so when you're not dialing. Because sometimes your session is like, oh, it's 6 hours, but you're only calling for two because for some
Mm,
reason you're on break mode for the others and not dialing for whatever reason. So you can like be honest with yourself after you look at those reports, and you gotta. It's usually like you can see the report from yesterday and stuff like that. But look at those. Other thing is use a triple line. Use a triple line dialer. So you can set the background dial settings to like 3 line. It goes up to 12. You can mess
yeah.
with that if you want. But there's another option in there that says it allows you to keep what's called the abandonment rate low. So the abandoned calls, if you're calling multiple people and they all pick up and you only talk to one, so the other two are abandoned. The rate is the percentage of how many are abandoned versus how many calls you're making, and you don't want that to be a. For me, I don't want to be above 2.5%. So even recently, it was like 4 or 5%. And I was like, oh, I should probably slow down. And so there's an option in ready mode specifically to say if that passes that threshold or whatever threshold that you set for the embedment rate, you can tell the dialer automatically slow down as it passes that threshold. So it always makes sure that you're actually hitting more people and talking to more people. So that's one thing. The other thing is just calling, like calling as much as humanly possible. And being honest with yourself. I think if you schedule a time for yourself to dial, like you set yourself for 3 hours and your calendar looks like it's okay, 3 hours on my schedule to call. See how much you actually call or on ready mode. Or on,
Yeah.
oh, that's funny. I didn't realize that's what the name of it, ready mode. It's like
Yeah.
you set it to ready and then it actually dials.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. Is it integratable with, and probably a question for the demo guy, but from my understanding, let's say I have my uploaded list ready to call, it's uploaded to ready mode, and then do you just, let's say a lead is warm, then you transfer them over to Podio, or you dumping everything into Podio as well too? And can
Oh
you do
no, 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 don't do that. The moment that they say yes, I want to sell. Or even if they say no, like, not really, but then you through conversation, you're like, oh, you actually do want to sell. That's when you transfer to Podio. And you just
that?
copy, you can just type it in, like what the name is, what they're saying. But yeah, don't put your entire list into
Okay.
Podio.
And is there an integration, do you know of? I'm not sure if there's like a, because I saw
I,
like, I don't know.
I haven't done it. I know some people have. I don't know if they've done it with Ready Mode and Podio though. So you'd probably have to talk to both Podio and Ready Mode people, like the sales reps or tech support.
Okay. So, um, next topic was AI and social media. I kind of got a clip that you use AI in your social media on one of your clips that you said. So I'm looking to obviously grow my social media. You know, it's just tough doing it by yourself. And, you know, I've done the whole cut and everything, editing myself with
Mhm.
all the stuff, but it just like one post will take me an hour to do, which obviously I don't want to waste on that. Um, how do you use AI in your advantage to, is this a process, does AI, do you use AI to post and edit and everything, or is it just your content? Like, how do you use it in your content to best fit you?
I use AI 3 different ways for social media. I use it for my actual editor to chop clips. I don't even edit my long form videos. I just talk straight. And over
Okay,
time, I've gotten better at talking straight.
okay,
But for my clips, I just take my long form videos and I use something called Opus, OPUS, and you can essentially download or like copy a YouTube link, a Google Drive link, or just import or upload the video into that website, Opus, and it'll automatically chop up videos into 9 by 16 TikToks with captions, whatever, and you can adjust the captions like where they are really easily. It's super easy to edit too. So basically, if I want to edit something out, it's not like I have to be a professional editor because I'm not. And the times I've done it, like it's not fun. But all you got to do is on one side of the screen, there's all the captions, all the words that go alongside the video that you say out of your mouth. The
hmm,
other side of the screen is the video. And if you want to delete a portion of the video, you just got to delete the words that on the caption side, and it deletes the part of the video. So like it's the easiest thing. And yeah, so this is being recorded right now for a reason, for fact of like clips. And so after this episode, I'm just gonna wait till it uploads, copy the Google Drive or YouTube link, and just put it into Opus. And like that's how I get my clips. And I used to pay thousands a month for editors, but this it does the job.
so you don't even have to like, you just upload it automatically and it edits all like the gap, the uhs and all that stuff out.
No, it doesn't do that, not this
Oh,
thing. It'll say but you can edit it out because in the caption side, it'll say, like, so, and you just delete, 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 delete. So it's
okay.
and actually it helps me a lot understand what my filler words are. So I use so like, and so. Like those are my big ones, and I'm trying to not do them, but just editing myself makes me realize, stop saying these things.
It's huge. I mean, ever
Yeah,
since I started doing it, I realized, and I've gotten better, like you said. I
yeah.
just got better at just saying one stream and not. I mean, it took me like 5 different takes, but
Mhm.
I practice and I speak better now, and I cut all the little yeah parts, say basically stuff like that, those recurring words.
Yeah.
So okay, I'll check out
Oh,
Opus
yeah.
because
So
I'm just
that's
looking to. Okay.
I was like, that's the first way. The other 2 ways are YouTube. Are you planning to post YouTube long videos? Because if not, then they won't matter to you.
Not right now. I think I'm kind of playing with the idea of YouTube Shorts, just to
Okay.
kind of start my channel, I guess, and then work my way. Um,
Yeah.
I mean, unless you have some recommendation to kind of go at it.
I mean, I think it's great to post long form videos. Plus, like if it allows you to get a lot of short form content for very little effort. So you don't have to sit in front of the camera, individually record TikToks, which I did for a long time and I got burnt out. I was making 6 TikToks a day individually for the camera for a year. And I was like, this sucks. So then I was like, let me make more long videos. Let me get better equipment so that I can chop my videos up and it actually looks decent. And, that was the game plan. I was like, no more sitting down. It was just I'd rather do the work that I know I needed to do, the calling and the real estate, like, it distracted me for a bit.
For sure. And yeah, that's exactly the same type I'm on right now because I was kind of doing them, then I like fell off because I just got so busy. And then my videos actually they work. Like I was providing free information
Mhm,
to buyers and sellers, just real estate world, and then
mhm.
loan programs, and then people contact me. And that's how I got some leads. And I'm like, man, I need to do this more often. How do I do it fasting? So, um,
Exactly.
okay, I'll check out Opus and kind of play around with that. And so,
Yeah, you can use it for free for, like, 200 minutes, and then you gotta pay after.
is it pretty pricey?
Uh, shoot, I forgot what I'm paying. It wasn't bad
Okay.
from what I remember, but, um,
Opus.com.
Opus just look at Opus Clip, that's the name of it. Let me see what I'm paying.
Is it two or is it just a website?
No, just a website. I'm paying $114 a year. So it's, like, ridiculously cheap, actually.
2 months.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay, cool. Um, so I'll play around with Opus. The last one was when you get ready to send a offer to a potential seller or homeowner, do you normally send a offer package to the seller? Have
No.
you done that?
No, they're all over a conversation, whether it's on the call, on a phone, on a Zoom, or in person. I'm not, like, sending him a letter or something like that. Like, it's all handled because the moment that I give him the offer, I wanna know that it's gonna be accepted because it's the rules that I'll set in the beginning of our appointment. So when we're talking and it's maybe the offer appointment. So, like, once I know they actually are ready to sell, let's say I've been following up for months and they're like, not ready yet, but I do wanna sell in, like, January or whatever." Then January comes and I make a meeting, whether it's in person or virtual, and at the beginning of the call, always tell them, like I'll set different expectations of like, "Hey, like, you can tell me no if you want in general, if you don't like my offer." I'll also say something like, "Hey, if we do come to an agreement, then we can put everything that we talked about in writing. Is that fair?" At the beginning, and then at the end, when I'm about to pitch my offer, I'm like, "Hey, remember at the beginning when I we said that if we agreed on something, we're actually gonna put it in writing?" They're like, "Yeah, yeah, that's still the case." Like, "Cool, I just wanna make sure we're on the same page." And then we go give the offer so that it's a yes or a no. We don't wanna give it and them say, let me go back and think about it." No,
Right.
that's so it's never, something sent.
I think that's it, really. Kind of going back to ready mode if we can.
Yeah.
Do you use their CRM as in, do you kind of like follow up with them in their system, in the ready mode system, like texting, emailing, and so on?
Nah, I just I just do it for cold calling. So
Okay.
just pure dials.
No emails or anything.
Mm-mm.
Okay. So it's just numbers game,
Yep.
dialing for dollars, basically.
Yep.
Cool, cool. I just wanted to see if you guys, because I had an opportunity to get emails, but I was thinking of them like, why do I need the emails? I'm just gonna reject or ignore it, and just gonna waste time. So
You could if it was like if it was a super niche list and you think there's a very high probability that this list will sell. Maybe it's utility liens and you got it straight from the county and it's real recent and all these people are behind on utilities or like some kind of lien. Then you might, if they don't answer, and it's a small list, maybe you have 500 people or less, 100 people, then yeah, maybe it's worth texting them all, door knocking them, emailing them, like everything, because it's so niche.
yeah,
Versus if you're calling a big list, then no, it doesn't just call.
yeah. All my lists are very specific, so it's either
Okay.
like next sellers, empty nesters, city categorized. Like I'm targeting very specific, and I don't
Yeah.
know if that's gonna cut.
Well, those are broad. Those are broad. Even though they're specific, they're big enough to where it's like there's not an immediate pain point that you can have a high probability of needing to sell. There's like potential because empty nesters and stuff like that, but it's not like they're way behind on their property taxes. It's not like
Yeah,
that. So for those kinds of ones, then yeah, you can go after it even harder. But for the most part, just call.
yeah. They've been probably like, I know always the general consensus question is always, what are you focusing on in our community? And, I just want to focus on wholesale and NODs or
Mhm.
liens, like after I learned after from you guys. So um, for liens, is it just any type of lien or code violations or something like that? Or
You
do you,
you can target any lien. Property tax liens work well for me, but like I still targeted all of them.
okay. Because I was able to get a source of finding liens or code violations, but
Yeah.
they're like 75 cents a lead.
Oh yeah, don't
So
do that.
yeah,
No, don't do that. The thing to think about, man, is like these lists. I really would not overthink it. The biggest, most important thing is that you're dialing enough every single day, even if it's a straight up equity list. That's what I'm calling right now, and
yeah,
we're getting leads every day. So like the faster you can get into the dialer, no matter what your list is, and start calling. Like if you're committing 3 hours a day, then you probably could realistically call 1,600 people every single day with that triple line, dial that many people, if you were calling 3 hours straight. So
okay,
that's the important thing is like just keep doing the volume.
okay. So I'm focusing on NODs mainly,
Mhm,
and then the other ones are just kind of up in the air, kind of leads when I don't have time or
mhm.
if I have extra time. Um, what would NODs and then do you think NO like trust notice of trust worth reaching out to?
Notice of trust,
Yeah.
like
So they've gotten to notice that it's going into a trust. So what the angle is like the trust prop, like it's going to another person, in other words, like a heir or family member or something like that.
yeah, maybe. I mean, you can include that, but like I said, man, it's like it'll work. If high equity works, that'll work.
Okay.
Um, I would say, how many people do you have pulled right now?
I just started my list. I have probably close to 500 in just one city. Um, and then I'm working on another list for another city. That's going to be smaller. That's probably like 200. And then now I'm going into this whole NOD list that I need to get their phone numbers, but the lists are all crazy. It's like it's Orange County, LA
Okay,
County. So I got to go through all of them. So that's why I was talking to my original question was, what's the best way to get
okay.
them all and get a number?
What I would do then is pull that 500 list right now. Like the moment we get off this call, when you're free to work, pull it, skip trace the data using whichever one you want, and put it
Oh,
into
I
your
have the
dialer.
numbers for those.
Okay, is it in the dialer?
Not yet. I
Okay,
have to sign up for Ready Call, Ready
so
Mode
yeah,
now.
right after this talk to ready mode, get comfortable with it, and that'll probably take you a little while actually, because it was a little confusing. So like, watch all their videos, talk to tech support as needed, and once you're like, okay, I know how this works now, or you could probably just still import your leads right away, import that
Yeah.
list, and then just learn how the dialer works, and then go at it, and then
Okay.
call those 500 people a lot, like over and over again until they pick up, until you. because eventually you will mark all of them as not interested, wrong number, or interested as a lead, voicemail. Like you'll mark a bunch of different things, and over time you're going to realize that. So the number that I look at is the calls to connect. It's one of the statistics in the data, and for me, in my data, like it's not the best, but on average, it takes me like 14 dials to connect to one person. So that's my metric that I look at because it's mine. It's my from my data. And I know if as soon as that shoots up significantly, I'm like, oh, why am I taking 30 calls to connect now? It's like, oh, my list has probably dwindled down so much that's
Mm.
just the people who mainly don't answer, and it's small. So then I might have to reach out to more and add more data to that list. So that's what number I look at. But I would just call it. And if you have 500 people and you call for 3 hours, I mean, yeah, you might be able to run through that list 3 times like that and
So
just keep.
oh no, I was just gonna say, like, once you mark them, let's say did not pick up or something like that, do you go back and call them again, like another day or something?
And you don't even mark it. If they don't pick up, it just automatically calls the next one, and it'll continue to do so until they finally pick up.
Okay.
Yeah.
Last question. I know we're coming down to the wire. Before I speak to the rep, I was talking to one of their outreach people, and then the phone numbers that come with it, they were saying that there's different packages to pay for the numbers,
Mm,
um, or they're saying some packages include numbers. And I wasn't quite understanding what they're saying. Like, from my understanding, it seems like these companies sell the numbers.
yeah. The phone numbers that you're going to be calling from,
Okay.
because you want multiple, like 30 or so.
Okay.
They it's not them that's selling it themselves. They literally just wait. No, is it? I'm not sure, but they
They're all
charge like, yeah,
different.
it's different. But they provide numbers if you want to buy, and I think you have to buy from them the phone numbers if you're using them, which is no big deal. Like they work.
Yeah, they were saying something. I think Call Tools was like $4 for each number to start, and then $2 a month. Does that sound about right?
It's probably
I,
something like that. At Ready Mode, they gave me 30 numbers for 30 bucks and then 30 bucks a month to keep. But I think their initial price was 50. I think they understood that I knew what dialers were, so I think they're
you
like,
got
"Hey,
your, your
he's like, I'll
grandfather.
give you a discount." And I was like, "Okay."
Okay. Okay. But you recommend. I remember you were saying you recommend 30 numbers. Right?
Yeah.